Welcome to another edition of 10 Minutes With. We're going to jump right in and introduce our guest today. Please welcome Kate Thompson.
Woo!
Just kidding. Kate's been gone for the last 2 weeks. Well,
I kind of forgot.
She forgot to show up one week. The last week she actually had an excuse, but hey, welcome back, Kate.
Thanks.
I won't say we missed you, but
I feel the love.
So anyway, our real guests today are the co-hosts of the Slapshot Sweethearts show. Please welcome Shannon Walsh and Megan Woods. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks. Excited.
Thank you for joining us. You're joining us. We're recording this on a Friday evening, and I got through this already, so didn't have time to refill. But hey, it is what it is. Let's jumping right in. You recently started the Slapshot Sweethearts podcast, so I want to know a little bit about the origins of the show. How did the two of you meet? Why did you start a podcast then?
Yeah, so we met in college, actually. We were in the same sorority, and we were kind of known as, the two that liked sports. It's not really that common that you're going to find two women in a sorority that are sitting in chapter checking sports scores when everybody else is talking about whatever we did that weekend. So that was kind of our go-to. And then I work for Belly Up Sports. So when the opportunity came up, we needed another hockey podcast, and they knew that I was very into hockey, and I hadn't really started my own podcast yet. So they reached out to me, and I immediately reached out to Megan, knowing that her interest in the Penguins and Marc-Andre Fleury was very strong. So it was a really great way for us to reconnect after school, just because we have been living on different coasts for a while. Obviously, in COVID-19, we haven't seen each other in quite a few months. So.
Is that a Marc-Andre Fleury jersey you're sporting?
It is. Yes, that is my only purpose for having a Vegas jersey.
It's very painful when you see your favorite player traded.
Yeah, but it's a good opportunity to get different jerseys, and I really like the look of the Vegas one, so it's kind of a pro there.
She's about to get a Capitals jersey just for Tom Wilson, so.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, but specifically the reverse retro, because that's a great jersey.
You mean the one DJ thinks looks like the Vegas one?
That is the Vegas one, Kate. Way to go. No, the Dallas one, and that's not the reverse.
It's been a long day.
No, see, there's a common theme on this show is that I prepare, Kate doesn't.
I don't even know who we're interviewing half the time. I'll show up and be like, "Hey, are we interviewing someone tonight?"
Yes. Please show up at this time. And you do, most of the time.
Most of the time.
So I have to ask before moving on, you said you went to school together. Care to share where that was?
Yeah, we went to American University in DC.
Ah, okay.
So, both of our teams, Shannon's a Bruins fan, me with the Penguins, have some fun with the Caps every once and again.
So what should a new listener expect when they hear your show for the first time?
A lot of different things. Shannon and I are ones for tangents and banter about not necessarily play-related facts about hockey. Definitely hear about some of the hotter men of hockey, all the above, plus the classic stats you want to hear, everything that was going on the week before. We'll do those important recaps, but then get into the real things you want to know.
Okay, so who has the best butt in the hockey league?
Well, you can't tell. They're in the top. No.
Okay, what features
I have an
best?
answer, Shannon.
All right, I'm gonna kick back right here. We're gonna see what goes.
They have those shorts. You can't tell.
It's not like baseball where you got that view, or football where it's on display.
Okay, what feature do you think hockey uniforms really accentuate?
No.
Any?
No.
Yeah. They have too much padding.
Yeah, you're full padding from literally from head to toe.
Yeah.
It's when they take their helmet off and you see if they look like a caveman or if they groom themselves, that's big.
Yeah, it's the beard is taken care of. What's the hair looking like? The coloring of it. Shannon's been really focused on what hair products Sidney Crosby uses to keep it so dark.
He dyes his hair. He does. Him and
That's not proven.
Him and Ovechkin are the same age, and Ovechkin is an old gray man.
I'm older than Crosby, by the way. That's gonna hurt, right?
Shows.
Well, Crosby is jet black hair. Like,
Hey.
It's so hard to believe that. Like, I mean, he's been around forever. What was he, like 17 when he broke into the league? 18 when he broke in? It just
Something like that, and he joined in 2005.
Yeah, he's been around forever, and it's just like he's what, 33, 34? Maybe not even
34,
that.
35, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insane.
Well, Charles,
DJ, you're older.
33.
So
33. Okay. Yes,
Yeah, you're much older.
Yes, I'm 35, about to be 36. Thank you.
Oh, I thought it was 45.
I'm at retirement age. Thank you. Unless you're Jaromir Jagr, that's the exception to the rule. I'm going to take a step back here too, because I was outnumbered in the conversation about the best feature. I would think, as a guy's perspective on this, if a player takes off his helmet, his face shield, and then he opens his mouth and there's a whole bunch of teeth missing, I would think that would be kind of a ugh.
It's a pet peeve. Like, if you've got all that money, fix your teeth. Like, you still have to walk around day to day, a functioning human being.
I'm like not mad at it.
What?
I don't know. It like depends like which one. Like if it's like your front tooth, then like no. But like I have a gap in my mouth that I just like haven't fixed.
A gap or a missing tooth?
A missing tooth.
But I've never noticed you have a missing tooth, so no, that doesn't count. I'm talking like a full.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you don't know where they're losing their tooth. Like mine's back here. Like fine.
Okay, if it's like a front missing tooth,
then like it's circumstantial.
I mean,
fix it.
Do you remember Dany Heatley?
No.
No.
Oh,
are you showing your age?
Yeah, well, he's not that old. He played into this century. He was missing one of his top front teeth, and every year he'd pose for his photo. Some of the players, they do the very stern look, but he was just like, he didn't care that he had just this missing tooth right in the front of his mouth.
That's what Ovechkin does, and it's awful. Brent Burns.
It's like a battle wound.
Well, there's the story of, I think it was the 2010 playoffs, where Duncan Keith took a puck to the face into the mouth and knocked a handful of teeth out. And he only missed like 10 actual like play minutes and came right back in. And basically what he said is he put some, they did some like temporary work in there so it wouldn't like hurt on a day-to-day basis. But he basically said, I'm not going to do any permanent work to my teeth while I'm still playing and risk getting my teeth knocked out again, because I'm just going to do this temporary work. And then when I retire, then I'm going to go and do the full like dental work to have a full mouth of teeth again. Because I'm not paying for a full mouth of teeth only to get it knocked out again.
I guess
I think it's always the best
sense
when they have to like fix it during a game. I always find that fun. Like
get temporary teeth. Like
get like this really is the worst example. Like in toddlers and tiaras, they have these things called flippers. Yeah, get a flipper.
I was gonna say dentures, but that's
no flippers.
No, a flipper is like very like easy to use apparently.
Yeah, toddlers can use them.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe I dropped a Dany Heatley reference and you didn't know who he was. I have to look this up.
We're so young. I know. Someone was asking us questions the other day.
Yeah, Grandpa.
Yeah. They were like asking us questions about like before we were born, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, he's like, come on, it's early 90s. And I was like, come on, I was born in 95.
Okay, now I feel old.
Fine.
So Dany Heatley last played in the NHL in 2015 for the Ducks. And his career was spread between Minnesota, San Jose, Ottawa, the Atlanta Thrashers. And he actually, if I remember right, he was involved in a drunk driving car crash that killed one of his teammates like very early in his career. And that kind of, like he was on the verge of like face of the league superstar status. And then he had gotten a drunk driving crash and killed one of his teammates. And he was still a very good player after that, but that kind of, damaged his legacy. Unfortunately, for making a poor decision in his life. But yeah, it was 2003. Yeah, he killed his teammate Dan Snyder, and But I don't know what, I mean, he didn't go to jail, I don't think. I mean, that's just, yeah. All right.
That's
Well,
so sad.
I know I ruined the mood. I tend to do that too.
Where were we?
I don't know. I think we were just going to sit here in silence and just contemplate what we just talked about.
I'm like really baffled he didn't go to jail, but that has nothing to do with
Yeah, that's kind of where my head was at. I was like, I wonder how that ended up.
I don't think I think he was arrested and he spent, the holding time, but I don't think he served a prison sentence. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but yeah, he for a drunk driving and killing your teammate who was a passenger in his car, you would think you would go to jail for that. But
imagine what that does to like the locker room too. Like show up and practice like the next season.
You
like, oh.
Assuming he didn't play that season, like
I just quickly glanced at his Wikipedia page because that's the the end all be all for information, and it was in the off season or right before the season was supposed to start, and I guess he sat out the first half, but he came back and played the second half, and then I think they traded him after that year, which
makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like you can't come back from that with your team.
Yeah, but it's just amazing, like things like that. He went on and played another 12 years and it just kind of got brushed under the carpet, unfortunately. I mean, it's
interesting because he killed one of his teammates, but like there are so many guys in the NFL that go serve prison time and then come back and play in the league like nothing happened.
Yeah. I mean, immediately comes to mind Michael Vick. That was,
that's the one I was thinking of.
Isn't he a football player?
Yes. That's what we just said, the NFL, Kate. Thank you for paying attention. How much have you drank, Kate?
2 sips.
Oh, you're such a lightweight. So embarrassing. So anyway, so that's our trademark derailing deviation of the show. We don't have a sponsor for this segment yet, but I think we need a sponsor for our deviation, Kate. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go work the corner. See if you can find someone.
Get right on that. So moving on. You've started podcasting recently. I'm sure you've already learned something as far as, something you could do differently, something you could do better. Share a piece of advice you've learned since you started podcasting that you would share with someone who is starting out.
Meg?
Shannon.
I would say we say a lot more than anyone realizes, and it's very difficult to edit. So try not to say it.
Yeah, I think I fidget a lot. I think another thing is it's really easy to be oh, we're friends, we're obviously gonna get everything done because we're talking, but it's you don't realize how much you have to talk about on a random thing. I think Shannon went to bed the other night and I was because I'm on the West Coast, so I'm up a little later most of the time, but I'm sending her things for her to see in the morning, be oh, we have to do this, oh, and that, oh, by the way, this game just ended this way, and then in the morning she's shut up, no way. It's just okay, continuation of it. It's just there's so much that goes into it, so it's definitely good to be friends with who you're working with. Otherwise I wouldn't want to spend as much time with people I don't know.
That is the weirdest adjustment, going from living further east to moving out west, and it's just I remember staying up and watching games, and you watch those Stanley Cup playoff games that go into triple overtime and they end at 2:30 a.m. Eastern time, and it's just it's 11:30 on the West Coast, whatever.
Yeah, I'm very nude out here. I'm only out here for COVID time because I didn't feel doing winter, and I had a friend in LA who was you can stay here. So I'm a Jersey kid. I was in New York City before this all happened, living in New York. But yeah, I having, for the college football season that we did have, any night games. I was oh, this is so much easier now. I'm having dinner and this is normal.
Except when you have games that start at 9 a.m.
Yeah, but then that's a reason to drink all day. You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That is true.
Just start at brunch and then.
Yeah, I have a cousin who lives out here too, or lived out here until a month ago. And he would be oh, our game's at noon, 9 a.m., breakfast, my place, let's go.
Kate?
So where can our listeners find you guys?
We are all over social media. So our Instagram is Slapshot Sweethearts. Then our Twitter, @SweetheartsPod. We just hit our milestone of followers of 500 followers the other day, which we're very proud of. So we're just, we have some exciting things coming up, so you can see us there.
We also have a YouTube channel, so make sure to
that too.
subscribe there. You can listen to our episodes on Apple and Spotify and all that, but we do the video posting on YouTube as well.
Celebrate your milestones. So I've got 2 quick bonus questions here. Yeah. So, Kate, I started doing the surprise bonus question.
They're not as good as mine. Ever.
Your questions are just weird. I'm just going to leave it there.
They are not.
She once asked a member of the White House press corps what his spirit dinosaur was. This man asked questions to the President of the United States.
And I asked him about
people
dinosaurs.
Are so much more normal. Like, you wouldn't, like, they're just like us. It's fine.
What did he say?
Okay.
What was his answer?
Yeah, what was the answer?
Velociraptor.
I believe he said Velociraptor.
I don't think I can name more than like 3 dinosaurs, so I probably.
I think I've gotten better at dinosaurs since getting my Nintendo Switch and playing Animal Crossing because they have like different.
Oh my god, I love that
museum.
game. Right. Yes.
I don't have Animal Crossing. I have a Switch, but I don't have Animal Crossing. So.
You're missing out, Shannon.
This perfect snow boys are like so difficult to make right now.
I didn't get the first 3, but then like if you just like I stopped saving my game so I could keep trying on like each day.
Yeah. But then you like get frustrated and just kind of give up at some point.
No, I don't give up.
You know? Have you figured out like the 12-second and 17-second proportion?
No, it's based on ears. Like the big one has to be right above your person's ear and the little one has to be right below the ear.
That wasn't even the bonus question, but hey.
I'm glad I learned Megan has a Switch because I didn't know that. So.
I don't. I've looked at buying a Switch, but every time I've considered it, they're all out of stock. So I'm like, okay, guess I'm not getting one.
I'm
the odd one out.
My kids are too young to play. I'm too old to play. I don't know.
No such thing.
No such.
Good point. So bonus question number 1. Who is winning the cup this year?
Vegas.
Ooh, I think we have a disagreement here.
No, I mean, she thinks Vegas is coming out of the West and Colorado is going to win the West. I don't know if Colorado is going to win the Cup, though. I think the East is the most competitive division, but it's a toss-up of who's going to come out of the East.
We've had this debate like many of times. I just think it's about time for Vegas to like have
She's
something.
biased toward Vegas, and Marc-Andre Fleury isn't going to be in Vegas.
Okay, you can't say they haven't like been close. Like
they are close.
They've
They're
been
close.
Here. They're so close. So like, why not?
Really is amazing how quickly they just kind of bounced on the scene. They should, like, every expansion franchise has basically sucked for the first 5 to 10 years they were in a city, and they just walked in day one like, hey, look at us, here's our first banner. It's like, you go to the other side of Phoenix over into Glendale, and the Coyotes, who've been around for 30 years here, have one banner hanging up there, and it's a division title.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Seattle does. Like, I feel like they might be similar to Vegas, but who's to say?
I think they kind of got the expansion thing figured out better than other sports do.
Well, other sports never expand.
Yeah,
exception of soccer.
Pretty steady.
Yeah, that's true too. We haven't had an expansion in baseball in 20 plus years, and
the NBA's talking about one though, so that's good.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? So, bonus question number 2. I mean, you see the Gretzky jersey behind me. I'm sure you know who Gretzky is. You're not that young. Question number 2 is, you can barely see it, but up on my wall, up against my controversial W flag, is I have a hockey stick that is autographed by an entire team hanging on my wall.
Are you going to ask them what team?
No, I'm not going to guess. I'm going to tell them what the team is. I want to know if they can name any of the players from that year.
The Blackhawks? Like, I'm just going with like context clues here.
It is not like the stick is autographed by the 2001 Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche. Can you name 2 players from that roster?
Patrick Roy? Is he too?
Patrick Waugh, that's one.
Oh, sweet.
Good one, Shan.
That's probably the only one I'm going to be able to name, though.
I didn't say I could not get any.
The second one is the current general manager of the Colorado Avalanche. Was the captain for a long, long time, probably 20 years. Maybe not quite that long, but a long time.
But
And it was actually the reason I have that stick is because he was my favorite player as a child.
how'd you get it?
Stole it.
It was a graduation present from high school, actually. It was won in a charity auction. And they the captain of that team was Joe Sakic. And another notable player on there was Boston Bruins legend Ray Bourque, who was traded from Boston to Colorado essentially so he had a chance to win a cup, and he did. He won his cup, and then he retired. So
It's a good time to go out.
yeah, that worked for a few players. Kimo Timonen did that in 2015 with the Flyers trading him to the Blackhawks. That worked out for him. Others not so much, but hey, it is what it is. So I don't know how long this show's been running, but Kate, I have a pretty good feeling this show is going to be in our top 4 longest episodes ever.
Possibly. We have had some interesting discussions today.
Yes, I was not. Dental work was not on the agenda, and Animal Crossing was definitely not on the agenda.
I don't think drunk driving sentences was on the agenda.
Yes.
No.
Yes, we went very, very high, very, very low, and very way out there. So it's you never know what to expect when you come on this show. So.
And for the record, my Animal Crossing island has like a gym for the characters. So
So does mine. Yeah.
It's sports related.
Okay.
Now?
Do you want to exchange Animal Crossing handles or whatever you kids call them nowadays?
I don't even know
know
mine.
what mine is. Yeah.
So much for that. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up today, and I'll have to check the clock. Did you start the timer, Kate?
Nope.
No, you didn't start the timer. See, we tried to start these and stop them at 10 minutes. Never happened, so we just gave up on the timer thing. So anyway, Shannon, Megan, thank you for coming on the show today. The show is Slapshot Sweethearts. That is hard to say.
You get used to it.
Yeah, yes, you do get used to it for sure. So thank you again for coming on the show. And for everyone else, check us out at Stadium Scene on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Join the network at stadiumscene.tv and Instagram at stadium_scene. And we posted a TikTok at Stadium Scene there too. So we're like the cool kids. So Kate's shaking her head no. And maybe she'll be here next week. Maybe she won't. We don't know. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.